Okay, so I wanted to do a commentary on this game because this is probably one of the weirdest games of League of Legends I've ever played in my entire life. This is also first commentary I've done on patch 5.10. There's a couple different things about support, but nothing too much has changed. I think for the most part, like, itemization is still about the same. Ardent Sensor is sometimes a good situational item, and I think Alistar is actually probably the best support right now. But otherwise, nothing much has changed. So this game I think is really weird because we have 380 carries with Vayne top, a Jinx mid with Smite, and Callista, and then I have to support all three of them basically this game. The other team doesn't even have an 80 carry. So this game is just all around just really, really weird. I don't really know, like, I don't know how to explain what goes on in this game because this game is pretty weird. But I think this is a good example of how you should try to adapt to different situations that you're not used to, because I don't think anyone has ever been in this situation before. So our bot lane we're going up against is an Aurelia Alistar lane. So normally I would not be this aggressive, but the fact that Aurelia is melee and they don't have a ranged AD carry in their bot lane means that I can pretty much zone out Alistar. Also because Alistar needs level 2 for him to actually be somewhat threatening to me. So I'm pretty much going to focus on trying to auto-attack this as much as possible and try to make your life miserable. And pretty much just give Sneaky as much time as possible to make some space. Give some space for him to farm up, pretty much. Somehow Vayne gets a first blood, I don't even know how. But for the most part, I'm just going to try to focus on bot lane and not really care about the other lanes for now. And you can see that we're pushing pretty hard right now. And I'm never ever using my Tornado against Alistar because I can cancel his headbutt, his W, if in the middle of it, if I cast it fast enough. So I'm looking to just save my Tornado, auto-attack as much as possible. Here they do try to engage on Sneaky, but I do protect him for a little bit. Now I use my Tornado and get the exhaust off, and he gets the kill on the Aurelia. That was pretty ballsy of them, but I was there to, in time, to shield him up, exhaust at the right time, slow him down, and we pretty much get a free kill. Now here I decided to recall, because if you look, the lane is actually pushing towards us right now, right? You can see that the creeps, there's more blue creeps than red creeps, so if we leave right now and stop hitting the creeps, we can definitely get the wave at a pretty good spot when we come back. So we both decide to recall right here. And now you can see that by the time Aurelia comes back and starts last hitting, they're at a pretty bad spot because they have to walk up really far forward. We can get a really good freeze now. And that's something you should always look for whenever you're trying to get an advantage in lane. If you freeze the lane well enough, like you can see now, like Zac is here just in case. He messed up that jump, but now like they definitely cannot get CS now because if they move any closer up, we have so much space for Callista to jump around and kite them. So you can see how scared they are, right? And I'm not trying to auto attack too much because if the creeps start hitting me, the wave will start slowly push up towards them. You can see that because both of us were attacking a little bit, and Alistar was not using his heal at all, like our wave started to push forward. So that kind of sucks that we couldn't keep the freeze any much longer, but we already have like a pretty substantial CS lead. Like you can see the CS difference between Callista and Aurelia is quite big. Now Zac is here. I see Zac at the golems, so we're just trying to hard push right now, so that way we can pressure them, maybe tower dive them, but like Zac really wants to tower dive them, but it's like kind of sketchy right now. You can see right now, Sneaky took a tower shot right there, which really sucks, because now they're just gonna dive straight on him. Probably not the best idea to go in so quickly, because we all kind of got wrecked. I decided to just abandon the Zac, because there's no way I could save him. I saw the Yasuo here, so I just left him to die. Jinx ended up ulting and getting a kill, so it wasn't the worst trade, but it definitely could have been a lot better. Anyways, so here I'm all by myself, right? And right now I'm trying to stall the wave, so that way when Sneaky comes back, he gets a pretty free. We can continue our freeze, right? So I'm just like going back in and out of the brush, keeping the wave just about right here. And I think this is a pretty good spot. And I'm gonna try to last hit a little bit just so I can get some extra gold, because like, you know, it's a lot of wasted DXP and a lot of wasted gold if I go back right now. So I decided to just stay there. Sorry. Anyways, Now that the Sneaky's back here, he can start freezing the lane again. I actually choose not to go back because if I leave Kalista by himself, Kalista will definitely die to Aurelia Alistar. So I need to be here just so that he can get some farm. Even though I do have a lot of money in the bank that I want to start spending, it's better for me to give Kalista some space because I don't want to put Kalista at risk of throwing away our advantage just because like I'm not there in lane. A little late on Tornado right there, but we pretty much win that trade with the shield, so it's okay that I messed up a little bit. And now you can see that the Hecarim is starting to come through a little bit. I know that Alistar is Mia, so I don't want to play too aggressively. And you can see now they're going to go ahead and start charging it now. So I'm going to slow this down really quickly. So here I get the triple knock-up on the Tornado. I ult them away, but Hecarim does ult the Sneaky back in. And now I'm just continuing to use my ult for as long as possible to heal. I get Kalista ulted, I use the knock-up, and now I'm just helping to kite the Hecarim out. And we both somehow get out of that alive. We almost get the kill on Hecarim too, but Sneaky would rather have stayed alive, which I think is the correct decision. So now I see that they're shoving bot lane, right? So I know that they're either going to take this turret if I don't stay here, or they're going to dive me. If they dive me, I can outplay them because I still have flash, I still have exhaust, so I'm not too concerned right now. Alistar is making really aggressive moves right here. That's how I know that they're going to dive me, but I know that it's okay. So here, if you look, I'm looking to see who takes aggro first. I'm already charging up my Tornado. I stop all three of them once again. Luckily, I didn't get headbutted all the way down here. I get CC'd a little bit, but I still have enough time for the Zac to come in. We get the kill on the Hecarim. Jinx ults the Alistar, and now Zac is going to get another kill on the Aurelia. So I played that pretty well just by like circling around the turret for a little bit and getting that triple knockup. I probably could have flashed and potentially survived after Aurelia Q'd me, but probably not because she still had a Ignite Flash. But that was a 3-for-1 trade, and that definitely worked in our favor quite well. So now, I'm just looking to help, let's rewind this a little bit. I'm looking to help push the lane with Kalista because we definitely want to start applying pressure. Both get knocked up, which is pretty bad, so I'm trying to look to disengage right now. You can see there, I waited until Kalista ulted, got a double knock-up once again, now shielding Kalista, and now they pretty much have to run because they can't fight us. Hecarim came a little bit too late, so we barely won that trade. I don't know why they're playing so aggressively because they're already so far behind, but yeah, it's probably not a good idea for them to keep playing so far up. Because you can see that now the discrepancy is even bigger. Like Kalista now is tripling the Aurelia CS. And now I'm going to go ahead and start roaming mid a little bit because if we want to win this game with 380 carries, we have to start grouping as fast as possible and taking down turrets because that's really the only advantage we have right now. And I guess taking objectives is also pretty quick for us. We really can't look to teamfight right now. So now that we took down the bot lane turret, I'm going to start rotating mid. And you can see now I'm looking at Jinx. She's getting pretty wrecked by 3 people right now, and I'm looking at whether or not I can make it in time, right? So Jinx is kiting this pretty well. You can see right now, I get the shield off just barely in time to save her from the Hecarim ult, and now we're going to get another kill. That was pretty risky on my part because I had to flash to get the shield just in time, but ended up working out in our favor. That was pretty well played. Here, I get Kalista ulted because we spot the Rise. I missed the Kalista ult, but honestly it doesn't really matter that much because there's no way Rise can actually kill Kalista fast enough, especially since I have a shield. And also if you look at my items right now, normally I would probably get like Talisman, right, as my first item on Janna, but I went Ardent Sensor this game because I think obviously with 380 carries, Ardent Sensor is going to be a pretty valuable item, especially if we are forced to work in a team fight. But here, they jump in on Yasuo. I pretty much just shield ult to just get to disengage as soon as possible. I've split from Kalista. Hecarim goes for me because he thinks he can kill me, and he almost does. Note that right there, what's really important is that as the Hecarim's chasing me, my Tornado just came up, right? So I have a choice to either tornado him right here, or I can tornado in the direction I'm running and hope he chases me in that direction, because that way I get a longer duration. I also see Zacchus right here too, so I think it makes a lot more sense for me to charge up tornado going this way, so that way when Hecarim is about to hit me, I can interrupt it, and then Zac can also jump over at the same time. So you can see that works out quite well, because I interrupted him and Zac was able to come in time to save me. So I almost died right there, but I got quite lucky. So right now, continuing on my rant about the Ardent Sensor, since once again we have 380 carries, I have to itemize pretty differently this game than I normally would. And right now I'm gonna start working on getting the Zeke's next, because we got the Rise right here, so we pretty much wreck him. One shield on Vayne is really, really strong, so that was pretty easy. But I'm looking to build a Zeke's next, because having so many ADs on our team is pretty good to have a Zeke's for. You can see with the shield, we're just completely wrecking Alistar right now. We force his ult too, which is quite nice, because that means he can't really engage on us. And now we're gonna look to just take this mid turret, because they don't have any wave clear right now. We saw 2 of them were bot, so with Jinx, Vayne, and me just shielding the Jinx, we pretty much get a free kill. What's important to note right there is that as we're taking the turret, I'm thinking about whether or not I want to go on the Aurelia, right? Because I think I was judging whether or not we'll take this turret at this wave, right? And as soon as we did, I decided Tornado slow the Aurelia, so that way they can go on her immediately afterwards, since Jinx will get the speed boost. So it's always important to just keep in mind what you're going to be doing in a couple more seconds ahead of time, so that way your team can help you. We end up taking this turret as well, because they weren't able to recall fast enough, so that was a pretty bold call. I think most people would have backed right there, but I think all of us unanimously agreed that we need to take turrets as soon as possible, so we all decided to just hold our ground. Anyways, I see that there's a lot of people top, but I decided to help out mid, because I see Yasuo is pushing, and I can try to keep this turret alive, but can't keep it alive forever, which sucks. And right now, our new game plan now is that, once again, thinking ahead of time, Baron's going to spawn at 20 minutes, right? So right now, our goal is that we want to do Baron as soon as possible. We have 3 ADs. We can burst down Baron, and we have Vayne too. So, Vayne goes really ham. I'm going to try to save her, but it's pretty much impossible, because there's a Hecarim and a Rise, so that kind of sucks. We really need to keep... My number one priority right now is just establishing vision control. You can see just how many wards they have in our jungle. Our entire red side jungle is warded, so we pretty much know that too, because they stayed around our jungle really long, a couple minutes ago when they were sticking around top. So I know that our jungle is pretty much warded, and I know I can't clear it, which is fine. I care more about getting vision, at this spot right here, this spot right here, and this spot right here, because we really need to make sure that they don't stop our Baron, because we can't really fight them head on. You can see right now I'm just trying to sweep everything. I already have the pink ward covering the pit. I just checked this spot, and now I checked everything now. So now I know that there are no wards here. So that's why we're all pinging right now to go start the Baron immediately. Kallista's bot, which is okay. We don't really need a Kallista, and all we really need is Jinx and Vayne. If we have Jinx and Vayne, we could definitely do it. But for some reason, Vayne decides to go down here because she's crazy and she's Babby. And you can see right now, we have to either turn or, fight. Turn or do Baron. So we all decide to turn now. I go ahead and shield them. I try to protect Vayne for as long as possible. I'm gonna try to just distract them. I get pulled back, but now I decide to ult back in. I ult the Yasuo away from the Callista, just try to buy some time. But luckily, even though I can't protect everybody, I do end up saving Sneaky, so that was quite convenient. And I guess I'll rewind that too a little bit, because, and I'll focus mostly on my positioning right here, because there's a lot of things going on this fight, and basically I have to choose who I want to save, because right now, Jinx at first got initiated on, so I decided to stay with her for a little bit until I know Zac and Jinx can finish them off, right? Then Vayne gets triple teamed, so now I have to help the Vayne, because, if I buy her some time, my team can hopefully join her back and we can get some kills. So here, I'm trying to make sure that Alistar does not get to her, which is why I Q right here. Yasuo almost kills me, but Sneaky saves me. That was a really good ult. And now this is also really ballsy too, because I know that if I don't go back in with the Kalista ult, Jinx is going to die, Zac is going to die, 100%. Vayne is also almost dead, and there's no way we can win this fight anymore unless I go in for the CC. Even if I die, I have to protect my team, because that's my job as a support. So I go in, get the triple knockup. The Yasuo Q unfortunately hits Sneaky, but as soon as I see that, I immediately ult. I'm just trying to heal everyone up right now. You can see that the Jinx stays alive for a little bit longer than normal, but what's most important is that Kalista stays alive. And now we get the cleanup. And we ace them. So, basically we won that fight because we had to make the decision of whether or not to turn or stay and do Baron. We all decided to just jump on them, even though I died right here. That was my bad. But we had to make the decision whether or not to stay on Baron or jump. And we had to jump because if we stayed on Baron, there was no way we could... We would all basically die because they were going to just collapse in on us. So I die, unfortunately. I blame, like, the knockup because I was going to shield myself. But that's okay. Me dying, me getting executed doesn't really matter. The only bad thing is that I don't have Baron buff, but that's not a big deal. But here I see that my team catches out the Hecarim. And right now our goal is to now push top lane, right? Because there are still so many outer turrets in top, and we have Baron buff. So right now we should look to try to take this. What's really bad here is that it's just me and 3 AD carries, right? And all of them are gonna start coming up now. And we don't have Zac here, so Zac is our main tank. So this is a pretty bad idea to begin with, because I don't know why he tumbles in, but he just gets pretty wrecked right here. And now we're really screwed. So I try to ult to save Jinx as much as possible. Once again, another really nice Kalista ult because I was about to die right there. I decided to knock up the Hecarim because if we kill Hecarim, that's quite good for the Kalista. Here, Alistar like almost kills me, and he's about to pulverize right there, so I decided to just flash out, just because I needed to get out. But I'm also playing very ballsy here because I'm like I have, what, 50 HP, but I know that we already lost this fight pretty hard, but I don't want us to lose even more people. So right now, the only thing I'm going to be doing is just shielding Kalista, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to do anything else. I might try to Q every now and then, but I saw the Yasuo Q. I tried to Q and save the Kalista, but that didn't end up working out, and we end up dying. But note that, like, I didn't, like, pussy out and just, like, completely abandon my team. Like, even though I was one hit away from dying, I just carefully watched my positioning, just made note of what spells could kill me from a super far distance. The only one on their team is a Yasuo Q, so I was able to dodge that, and we maybe could have potentially turned it around, but I think we all kind of misplayed that. But that's okay. So basically, Baron buff didn't actually do anything. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and start sweeping out wards once again. Nothing for us to really do, but the only good thing about us right now is that the mid inhibitor is exposed, so we can just go ahead and charge up and take the inhibitor. Hopefully we won't make the same mistake twice and, like, get wrecked, but luckily Zac is now frontlining everything, so we should be okay. So we just kind of waited for Jinx to come. Jinx is here now, so I'm just trying to look to just stay back and heal as much as possible. So Zac gets pummeled a little bit, but it's not too big of a deal. Tornado just in case, but nothing really happens. Zac is actually quite low, and Jinx actually gets jumped on. Actually that was really bad positioning on my part. I shouldn't stay that close to the Jinx, because if I get knocked up by Alistar, that's really, really bad. But luckily they weren't really following up on that engage, because Aurelia was back, Ryze was kind of back also. So right now, like, I'm just waiting to see when's a good time to ult, right? I see Hecarim's jumping in, like, pretty much everywhere, and like, Vayne goes really far forward, and I'm like, okay, Vayne is, yeah, kind of important to save, but she's so far up front that it's going to put me in a really bad position if I try to, like, shield her right now. So I'd rather prioritize protecting Jinx and Kalista and just staying further back, right? So I decided to ult here and just stand my ground, because I can keep applying the Ardent Sensor stacks to everybody right now. So unfortunately Vayne does die, because I made the decision not to leave her, to leave her. And they jump on the Callista Jinx, and you can see that now we pretty much have to run, but wait a second. Okay, wait, let's go back a little bit. That was kind of bullshit right there. So right after the Zac died, I don't know if you saw that, but Yasuo made the wind wall, right? And then I get Callista ulted, like right here, and I'm about to jump, and then the wind wall just completely stops it, which is just so stupid. I'm like so mad by that. But that's okay. We end up getting the reset for Jinx. That's quite convenient. And now we can pretty much take the inhibitor for free. So now that I know my team can take the inhibitor, Yasuo is going to try to recall, right? I saw a Monk over here. So right now my goal is to stop the Yasuo recall. I'm just straight up just running up and just stopping him from recalling. I like pretty much run up here just so he stops, and then I wasn't sure if he was going to go inside that bush, so I just tornadoed it. But I bought a lot of time for us because now we took both Nexus turrets and the inhibitor just because I stopped the Yasuo back, which is quite good on my part. Here, I do a really fully charged tornado, help out the Callista. Unfortunately, the stupid wind wall wrecked Sneaky. So that just sucks. And now I'm just running because like I'm out of mana, I can't do anything. But you saw right there, like it's important to once again think about like what you're gonna be doing, because my team doesn't need me to be like hitting the inhibitor and stuff like that, right? Like me shielding them isn't gonna make them take the inhibitor that much faster. I think having Yasuo not get to them is way better than me just protecting them, right? So me doing this bought like maybe 20 seconds, and that pretty much almost like sealed their fate, because like this Nexus is completely exposed. Like we have 3 ADs, we can all just run up to them and just kill them. But here, I catch out the Hecker, and we get his ult, which is quite nice. And now, I'm just looking to try to group up with everyone. That's a little bit aggressive of me to like try to get the tornado off, but that's okay. Like if I ended up like slowing him down, that would have been quite nice. Or if I had Talisman, that would have been a kill. But now with my Zeke's finished and Ardent Sensor finished, this is pretty much game, I think. They're gonna try to fight us right here. Once again, I'm just trying to look to protect Vayne right here because the Zac is frontlining everything. I get a really nice tornado off on these two guys. You can see, like, Jinx's positioning is super good. Like, the wind wall is also really well positioned, but Jinx is, like, uphill, right? There's no way they can gap close like that. Like, I guess Aurelia can jump, but that's really it. And Aurelia is not a strong person right now. I see Callista's coming over from this side. I'm getting wrecked, but I see... So, like, let's look at this now. So, I was protecting Vayne the whole time. But now I see Aurelia just jumped on Jinx, and now Ryze has jumped on Callista. So... right now, I'm just like, crap, I have to help out my team. So I shield the Jinx right when she gets stunned. I see Sneaky ults me back because he's getting wrecked right now, and he needs the knockup right now. So I try to save him. Unfortunately, I was like a millisecond too late. I also like just ulted way too late also. But right now, I exhausted the Yasuo because I know he's going to try to jump on me. I also failed the flash, so that was a lot of misplays on my part. But basically, I'm just trying to stall, keep shielding the Jinx, and we do end up getting the Ryze. And now it's really important to note here is that Vayne ended up sneaking past everybody, is now hitting the Nexus. So right now I'm just like, I just cannot die. Like me and Zac just cannot die right now. So I'm just trying to just outplay the Yasuo, but I get knocked up and Yasuo almost kills me. But luckily the Zac did not get hit by the tornado, and we pretty much won the game off that fight, because now Vayne is just gonna hit the Nexus. Just kidding. She dies. But for the most part, I pretty misplayed that team fight like really badly. Like if I had gone to help Sneaky a lot more quickly, that fight would have been the game 100%. We could have ended it right there. But I see Hecarim was clearing that ward, so I decided to Talisman in. We're pretty much about to wreck the Hecarim. He ults me across, and now that's a dead Hecarim. And now we're going to just keep on going forward, like they're so screwed. Yeah, we got the kill on Yasuo. It's basically game from here on out. So basically, that game was just a very unusual game for sure. But I think it's important to... This game was really important because it shows how you have to change your game plan. You have to adapt to like really awkward situations, even if like your team might be trolling. Because honestly, in champs, like everyone is trolling. So like this game, like for me in particular, like my role is so important because I have three people I have to protect. But I had to make a lot of really important decisions on who I should be protecting every single team fight, as well as like what I should be itemizing. Because I think if I did not itemize like this, like getting the Zeeks and the Ardent Sensor, like these fights would be so much different. Because R8, like Jinx and Callista and Vayne stayed alive for so long, just because they were able to lifesteal and so much, and they were able to get so much protection from me. So even if you might be really unfamiliar with these situations, I think what makes people really good at this game is being able to adapt to just really different situations. Like I'm sure no one has had the privilege of protecting 3 ADs, but I think I was able to adapt pretty well and protect my team and lead us to a pretty clean victory. Like my two deaths, well, one death was execution. The other death was when I got dove right here, but we got 3 kills from that. So I think I played everything almost perfectly, and I'm pretty proud of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.